from your vantage point, what are some of the common mistakes businesses are doing when it comes to exiting? Like, what are some of the common mistakes that you have found that are relatively easy fixes that businesses are not realizing?
Well, I don't know if there's easy fixes. Nothing's really easy fixes when it comes to businesses. But the biggest mistake, the number one mistake, is business owners never think about selling their business until a catastrophic event has occurred. So they never plan for their business exit. Business owners don't fail to plan. They don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. So most business owners don't think about selling their business until an internal or external catastrophic event has occurred. So that can be health issues, partner dispute, divorce, death. External can be this pandemic we're in. Or business owners get burned out and are like, I'm exhausted. I can't do this anymore. You can't sell your business in the middle of a catastrophic event because you're never going to be able to maximize value because your business is typically trending downward and not doing well. The best time to sell your company is when your company is in its prime and doing great. And so that's one of the biggest mistakes. Also, business owners haven't really created a business. They've created a glorified job in which they go to work at every day versus a business that actually works for them. So what we do is we work with our clients to get them on the GPS exit model. I call this the ST GPS exit model and exit rich. Would you like me to take you through it?
Sure. By all means, yes.
Okay. So the first step that we work with our clients is determining the destination. When you want to drive somewhere, you pull out Google Maps, you plug in your destination. Otherwise, you're going to be driving around in circles. And that's what business owners do. Most business owners never have a destination. So again, they don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So they're driving around in circles, driving up and down the financial hills. So we help them determine, what is your destination? What is your end game? What is your desired sales price? And a lot of times they get hung up on a number. And I tell my clients, don't get hung up on a number, just pick a number. Let's say you want to sell for $15 million, let's say $10 million. You want to sell for $10 million. Great. What does the ST GPS exit model need to know next? It needs to know where you're starting from. What is your current location? And in other words, what is your current valuation? What is your business worth today? Most business owners have never had a business evaluation. We go to the doctor once a year to get an annual physical checkup to make sure our heart's still ticking and we're still kicking. We drive a car to the mechanic to make sure that we get an annual tune-up on our car, but we never get an annual valuation checkup on our business. That's financial suicide. Your business is your most valuable asset. There are events that increase valuation. There are events that decrease valuation, just like this pandemic. So business owners need to know every single year what your business is worth. So every year you should get an annual business valuation checkup on your most valuable asset. So let's say you want to sell for $10 million and you're currently worth $1 million. The next thing you need to know is time frame. So let's say you want to sell in 10 years. Then the next step in the ST-GPS exit model is, who are your buyers going to be? Notice I said buyers and not buyer. I have clients that come to me all the time and say, Michelle, I already have the buyer. I just need you to represent me. And I say, no. They're like, why no? Because the likelihood of that one buyer closing on your business is slim to none. Something will happen in due diligence and the deal will fall apart. You never want to put your eggs in one buyer's basket. You want to always have backup buyers. Plus, how can we maximize value if we can't create competition because you have one buyer? The way you get the highest price is by creating competition to bid. That's how you maximize value and get the highest price. So there's 5 types of buyers. You need to determine what buyer is right for your business. 90% of buyers are first-time buyers. First-time buyers are not going to buy a $10 million company, so you can rule them out. They buy small businesses, typically under $1 million. Then the second type of buyer is turnaround specialists. They buy distressed assets. They're not going to buy a $10 million company. Then you have private equity groups. Private equity groups buy 2 ways, based on platforms and add-ons. A platform is when they say, hey, we want to get in the food manufacturing space. and we're not currently in food manufacturing. They won't even consider a company in that space unless you have $3 to $5 million in EBITDA. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Now, add-on is, let's say they're already in food manufacturing and they're looking at a spice company. They will consider an add-on under $1 million in EBITDA, but a platform has to be $3 million and up in EBITDA. Then the fourth type of buyer is strategic/competitors. They typically will pay the highest multiple because they're buying synergies. They're buying synergies that will help catapult their current business to the next level. Plus, they take advantage of economies of scale. Plus, they look at the infrastructure to see what could we cut in which to decrease overhead and increase EBITDA from day one of closing on the sale of this business. The last type of buyer, the fifth type of buyer, is serial entrepreneurs, sophisticated buyers. They're industry agnostic. They chase cash flow. Okay. So those are the 5 types of buyers. Then you need to reverse engineer your plan and say, okay, if I want to sell for $10 million, where's my gross revenues need to be? Most importantly, where does the EBITDA need to be? The EBITDA to sell for $10 million needs to be at least around $2 million in order to sell. Then you have to ask yourselves, these 3 types of buyers that will be interested in my business, what is their buying criteria? What are they looking for? What synergies are they willing to pay top dollar for? And then you build your business to meet their specific criteria. It's kind of like when a business owner starts a business. They say, okay, here's my widget. I'm going to sell this widget. Here's my target audience that's going to buy this widget, right? Same thing. We're trying to sell your business. The last step in the model is your why. Why do you want to sell business for $10 million? The why is so important because if the why is not powerful enough, then you'll never stay in the game. If it was easy to sell business for $10 million, everybody would be doing it. So your why has to be powerful enough. It has to motivate you. It has to keep you in the game. It has to keep you weathering all the financial storms. You could be trucking right along in your business on track to make that $10 million mark. And all of a sudden, bam, there's a pandemic. So the why is going to be powerful enough to keep you in the game. That's the GPS exit model. It works.